everybody, how you guys doing today? Today I'm going to be reacting to RCE Kingston's top 25 roller coasters he has ridden 2023 edition. So I've done this for the past couple years. I reacted in 2021 and it was a little interesting. I didn't exactly like that list. 2022 wasn't as bad, but still not the greatest list. He has some interesting opinions. So here we are in 2023 listening to his list. It's 27 minutes long. So it's going to be a lot, so let's do this. Actually, I'm going to keep it on full screen because the lighting is better for my face.
Hello and welcome back to RCE Kingston. We made it through another year, and as of yesterday, this channel is now officially 4 years old.
Oh.
I thought to end off the year,
That's
I would
cool.
make a video going over my top 25 favorite roller coasters I've ever ridden. Now,
I need to do that again soon.
The first thing is I have ridden a lot of these coasters.
I just haven't ridden a lot of coasters recently.
Some of my opinions might be a bit skewed in favor of those coasters. The other thing is that these are my favorite coasters, not the best coasters. Some of these rides might be better than others, but if I enjoy riding them more, then they will be ranked higher on my overall list.
I also want to say this real quick, that I do fully respect his opinion. I'm just reacting to this for fun. Okay, number 30, Montu. Okay, for me, I would rank that higher, but okay, this music is way too loud. For me, I'd rank that higher, especially because of what he has above it, Cheetah Hunt. Yeah, I definitely rank Montu higher. Cheetah Hunt was fun, but it's not better than Montu. George Scorcher, I love that ride. I wouldn't put it that high, but it's a good ride. It's very underrated. Superman Krypton coaster. It depends. I've heard that's kind of forceless and honestly like rattly, but if it's forceful and not rattly, then it'd be a good ride for sure. Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America. Sure. I mean, Mod 2 is better, but like, I remember liking that ride.
Moving off the list is, oh god, please roller coaster gods, please don't let me get crucified for this. Okay, coming in at number 25 is Steel Vengeance, located at Cedar
Dude,
Point.
okay.
Falling even further down my list is now
I don't even, I'm turning his voice down. I don't even care what you got to say for here. Like, it's better than number 25 on your favorite list. It's, you know dang well it's better than 25 on, like, roller coasters in the world, much less your favorite coasters. Like, I mean, it's not. I heard a little snippet right there that the only force it has is airtime. That's not true. It has a lot more force than airtime. It has positives everywhere. It has laterals during that big turn. It has everything you want.
The first version is absolutely incredible, but from that point on, it just doesn't do anything noteworthy for me. That is why it lands as a number 2.
Okay, a lot of people do say that the second half is better. That is not true. The first half is better, but yeah, no.
At number 24, we have a much less talked about ride.
Dude, what the frick?
This list is super controversial.
You keep doing this. I feel like you're doing this like personally to me. Like, I feel like putting Invader over that and one-upping it too, like literally doing that just to screw with me.
So it does have a few really good pops. This ride absolutely flings you from left to right at such a fast pace.
Whoa, it's a family coaster. When
When
Steel Vengeance is literally, it doesn't have like the most airtime in the world. Doesn't that still exist on that ride? Like, oh, this one flings you around a little bit. That has the most airtime in the world, dude.
Even more fun. All around, this is a super underrated coaster and one I absolutely adore.
Adore.
Next up is one of the most intense looping coasters I've ever ridden. And that is
Kraken. Kraken's a good ride. I like Kraken. A lot of people like hate on it and say it's like not good, but it's really good actually. Unless people ride it like during bad days, but I don't know. I've gotten good days on it.
Go on a very fun and floaty first drop, which gives riders in the back row a nice moment of floater airtime, and you have a really fantastic layout. Although the other strongest quality of Kraken is how nicely presented the ride is. The ride is located right next to the park's exterior lake and looks amazing.
Oh yeah, it looks like it really does look good.
It also nicely interacts with Mako because the dive loop goes right next to the bottom of Mako's lift hill.
True.
All around, this is a fantastic coaster.
It is a really good ride. I like that spot.
At number 22, we have one of the most shocking coasters I've been on. and it is Wild Eagle at Dollywood.
Wild Eagle's a good ride,
Completely
for
blew me
sure.
away with just how intense it truly was.
It is intense,
Before visiting
especially the
Dollywood,
first
I didn't know
half.
anything about Wild Eagle.
The vests hurt me the last time because of that force, but I mean that just shows how forceful the ride is, honestly.
Because on my first ride on the back row, I ended up blacking out from the top of the vertical loop to about halfway up the 0G.
Blacking out.
When mixed with the multiple points of good floater airtime on the first drop, the camelback hill, and we transitioned into the final helix. The ride had a lot more positive G's than I had originally expected, which led to it being one of my favorite coasters at Dollywood. Also, I said this last year,
yeah.
I want to say it again this year, B&M vest restraints are not nearly as bad as everyone says, and they are actually really comfortable.
I agree, but it depends on the coaster.
Next we go to one of the most aggressive rides on my list.
Okay.
This is Wonder Woman Golden
I've never ridden it, but like that looks like my kind of ride. Like I feel like I would really enjoy Wonder Woman.
It was actually the very first one to open, and it shocked
like I really want to ride that. Especially because here's the thing, people say Jersey Devil is like forceless. I'm like, dude, that's one of the best like and most forceful rides I've ridden. What is this thing like?
Mind you, my first ride was in the very back row, and from the moment the train went on,
I could have just gotten really good rides on Jersey Devil, but like, oh, that thing's amazing.
Even though this is an RMC, it is one of the roughest coasters I have ridden.
Oh.
For some reason, it felt the train just wasn't sitting right on the track, and it was rattling violently for the entire duration. In particular, the moment in between the cutback and 0G roll.
Depending on how bad it is, that could ruin the ride for me.
Other than that, this is a wild and intense coaster that deserves a spot on my list.
I don't like rattles when I don't know about them like before.
Alpengeist is the absolutely
Alpengeist?
B&M invert at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
I like that you have it above Montu.
I mean, it is gigantic.
I think it's his
The ride
favorite.
has a max height of 195 feet. And
This ride's absolutely amazing. I think this thing's in my top 10.
Keep in mind, the next tallest invert is 167 feet tall, which is a whole 28 feet shorter.
This thing's amazing.
Now, stats are one thing, but the ride experience is unbelievable.
That Cobra roll is like, you never know.
Positive forces.
And the loop is underrated.
Is easily the brutal Cobra roll, which I'm convinced is designed to inflict as much force on the human body as possible.
Yes.
Most B&M coasters have pretty whippy Cobra rolls. Raptor Cedar Point, for example. But none of them even
Raptor
close to
sucks.
just how whippy Alpengeist Cobra roll is. It generally feels like a car crash in the best
Yes,
way.
it does.
And that is
That's actually a very good like comparison.
After each ride, it leaves you feeling so drained, and it is absolutely my favorite invert ever.
Good. Bam.
Next, we make our way to Hershey Park for the first of many coasters from that park.
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit is an intimate vertical lift.
Okay, Fahrenheit's good, but it ain't better than Alpengeist. That's.
Featuring a vertical lift to a 97-degree beyond vertical drop.
I like Fahrenheit.
It is way more intense than I've ever
I think it's
ridden.
probably actually my favorite ride at Hershey right now. Because last time I went there, but I didn't like Sky Rush.
All the way throughout the element.
And I didn't ride Storm Runner.
The midway point of the coaster are some of the most
So, I mean,
whippy versions I've ever
Fahrenheit's good, but it's not that good.
These two inversions just
Like,
run you
it
from
probably
side to
shouldn't
side
be on here. Maybe top 30.
It just feels right. Though on the super intense ejector hill just before you fly into the final brake run, the whole experience is just super fun and the perfect level of intensity. And by God, am I upset that I only got one ride on this during my visit.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 8.
Icebreaker, I rode that with him.
At SeaWorld Orlando. This is a premier ride Skyrocket model.
I love that ride.
Park in 2022.
It's such like a non-family coaster. They call it a family coaster. That's why they needed Penguin Trek.
Marketed as a family coaster.
Yeah.
So I went in expecting a bit more of a tame experience with maybe a few moments of fun for their airtime over some of the hills.
Exactly.
But instead, I was being launched skyward due to the crazy powerful ejector airtime.
I know, this thing's amazing.
4 main moments of ejector airtime that just completely fling you into the air. Those being the backward step up into the spike, the step up into the top hat, and the double bunny hill before the turnaround. Those 4 moments were easily the most intense moments of airtime in the entire park. The backward spike also had a ton of fun floater airtime, which really just helped round out the coaster. All around, this is a perfect addition to the park.
Although Pipeline could be different. Pipeline could bring some really good airtime, which I've heard it does. I'm going to try and get out to Florida this year again.
Going just across the park, we have Mako, the B&M hypercoaster that is brutally overrated.
Mako.
The coaster is really good and a ton of fun.
Icebreaker's better.
That this was the best B&M hyper in the world, and well, that couldn't be farther from the truth if you were to ask me. Now, before we get into
It's definitely not the best B&M hyper.
First off, the ride has some of the most sustained moments of airtime.
Goliath at Over Georgia is a lot better. But this ride's really fun too.
The coaster's location is also just absolutely beautiful, since it's built on top of the park's outside lake and right alongside the park's border. Now for a negative. The second half of the coaster is entirely pointless. The mid-course brake run kills the majority of your speed before you crawl over an airtime hill, go around a few force-less
That hill has airtime.
and that's really my biggest problem with the ride.
I mean, the turns are fun.
That and give the ride a higher spot due to the
I'm glad it's there. I'd rather, I don't want it to just end right there, so I don't think it's pointless.
Now for the coaster that has dropped the most from the last year, we have Lightning Rod at Dolphin. Dropping a full 13 spots over the past year, and I expect that they keep dropping, seeing as the best part of the ride is being removed for the 2024 season. The ride itself is
I'm glad I got to ride it this past year because, yeah, they're getting rid of the launch and now putting in a chain lift.
It's a tier below all the other RMC coasters I have ridden, especially when combined with the short ride time. I know this is a coaster that has some very intense fans, but in my opinion, the ride doesn't feel like it has an identity of its own. It just felt like all of RMC's filler elements strung together with a mediocre launch at the start. I don't hate Lightning Rod, just knowing the level that I had it on last year on my list. Still a great coaster, and I cannot deny
this thing was like my number 1 or 2 at one point, but this thing is like, I don't even know where it is at this point. I gotta make the new list.
From one of the most talked about coasters in the world to one of the least talked about wooden coasters, Texas Stingray
Texas
is my
Stingray.
favorite ride in the park and ended up being my favorite coaster at any of the SeaWorld brands.
I've never ridden this, but like, this ride looks pretty good. It looks really fun.
Hills to super strong and quick pops of ejector airtime. Now, it isn't exactly focused on airtime.
I bet that back row is good with that straight drop.
And strong laterals during the high-speed bank turns, but on several of my rides during some of the turns,
It looks really fun. Yeah, I mean, you're getting the straight drop, but like that second turn, it almost looks like a regular GCI drop, but you have speed going into it. So I feel like this ride would be really good. Like, I feel like this would be a ride that I'd really like.
This is a coaster that needs to be talked about more than it is. Jumping back over to Cedar Point, we have the dumbest coaster on my list, Magnum XL 200. I'm going to be entirely honest from the start here and not even try to lie. Magnum is by definition a flawed ride. It is not the fastest or the tallest, nor the most thrilling, and not even close to being the smoothest, but it is absurdly fun. From the moment you drop off the lift, it is non-stop being bounced from left to right in the most awkward.
It is a very good ride. I like Magnum a lot.
My favorite part of the entire ride is what enthusiasts call the airtime alley. This is a return run as you make your way back towards the station, and it is a non-stop barrage of sharp ejector hill after ejector hill.
The first couple of hills are disappointing, okay? I was expecting it the entire time. It definitely didn't have it. It's those last 3 that really kill you.
Sure, Magnum does not deserve to be this high, but I just love it way too much to put it any lower. Going back to my home park, we have the wildly underrated Copperhead Strike. This is a mock multi-launch coaster that opened
Copperhead. I don't know how to feel about this ride. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I'm like, this is overrated.
It's
so
always been unfairly compared to Maverick at Cedar Point, since they are both multi-launch.
I gotta see.
But honestly, the coasters couldn't be more different. Copperhead focuses heavily on providing the riders with as much hang time as possible, while there are a lot of other forces during the ride.
I'd say I think Copperhead's better than Maverick in my opinion.
Hang time is the main focus. There are 4 main hang time moments: the JoJo roll, both vertical loops, and the inverted top hat. Each one getting at least 2 seconds.
Apparently, I rode Maverick when it was like really running slow though. So and like the launch was screwed up apparently. So we'll see.
All around, the ride is unbelievably underrated and hardly talked about enough for just how good it is.
Me and this ride are like bipolar.
Next up is a hyper intense Storm Runner, and holy smokes!
This ride looks amazing. I really need to get back to Hershey to ride this.
Super aggressive and had one of the punchiest launches in the world. And well, everyone who said that definitely wasn't lying in the slightest.
I feel like this ride in the back row would be like maybe best ride at Hershey, honestly. Even ever better than like Wildcat's Revenge. I feel like this thing would be amazing in the back.
You do not take your foot off the gas once. It is perfectly paced from start to finish, featuring 3 different inversions, including the insane flying snake dive, which is a perfect blend of what the frick and holy crap.
Yeah.
You just keep rolling, and before you know it, you are dropping towards the ground.
Yeah, this thing in the back row feel. I think this thing would be like amazing. Like, look at that drop right there. It looks like.
missing my top 10 is
Thunderhead.
Dollywood, Thunderhead. This is an absolutely amazing GCI wooden coaster that is truly relentless from start to finish.
This is like, I think this is still the best ride at Dollywood. Definitely better than Lightning Rod. It and Big Bear are close to kind of. Big Bear Mountain's amazing, by the way. If y'all didn't know that.
Due to the sheer strength of the airtime. Most of these moments were also paired with super strong laterals, either at the same time or just before or after. Dollywood also takes amazing care of this coaster by doing constant track work over the off season, meaning every time you rewrite it, it'll be running even better than the last time.
I love Dollywood for doing that.
This is my absolute favorite wooden coaster and my favorite ride at Dollywood. Starting off the top 10 is the incredibly controversial Sky Rush. Seemingly nobody can agree on.
Not for me, really. I don't like Sky Rush that much. Here's my thing. The restraints weren't even bothering me, really. It wasn't even really that. The rattle sucked, from what I remember. I could probably get past that now. But I just don't remember the airtime being very good. I mean, I think the first hill might have been kind of good. But, like, other than that, I mean, the drop was very overrated. The drop sucked. It's short. It's just not really good. I mean, I didn't like it very much. I said I really liked it the first time I wrote it, but I was kind of lying. I was kind of just saying that, like, peer pressure.
Coming in just one spot above Sky Rush is the best
Goliath.
In terms of being in hyper layouts, Goliath does absolutely everything perfectly.
This thing's amazing. I love this ride.
Clearly shown by the 8-spot gap between this and Mako. There's not a single foot of wasted.
I can't wait to ride this thing again. I think I'm going there for spring, so it's gonna be amazing.
Overall ride experience. Nothing feels out of place per se. Not to mention how comfortable these trains are with the clamshell restraints, eliminating any chance of discomfort. Let's really quickly get into some more specific details. The 540-degree.
Gosh, that helix is amazing. Look at that thing go.
On any hypercoaster, with a sustained moment of intense positive G's, nicely contrasting all of the airtime moments. My favorite thing about the coaster is the fact that it doesn't only have floater airtime. There are also several moments of ejector airtime.
Look at those riders flying right there.
All around, there is no way this is not the best B&M Hyper.
Oh yeah. Maybe Shambhala. I don't know. Possibly.
The best coaster at Cedar Point is up next.
Okay, that's not supposed to be there.
Once again, there's absolutely no dead spots on Maverick, and in my opinion,
Yes, there is. That ride's literally just mediocre at best. I mean, it's. I think a lot of the reason why I don't like it is because I hyped it up in my mind to where I thought it was gonna be better than Steve. Where Steve was amazing in this thing, honestly, not even best second in the part. I think Millie would probably be better than this. The Stangle dives are kind of like overrated too. I mean, they're still good, but they're not as good as people say. The launch was really not good either. Twisted Timbers. That's the same thing with Copperhead. Like, I'm kind of bipolar with this ride. I don't know. I need to ride it again. I need to go back to Kingston this year.
Making it one of the shortest RMC coasters. Twisted Timbers throws absolutely everything at you for the entire duration, not giving you a single second to breathe. Packing in 3 inversions and a staggering 16 moments of ejector airtime.
Wow.
While also not feeling repetitive at any point, which is the problem that plagues Steel Vengeance.
I kind of the opposite. I think that's the problem that I have with this ride sometimes. It feels too repetitive. If he was just talking about the cutback, then no, the cutback's forceless. The drop in the back row is amazing, though. I could see that. Like, I've never ridden Iron Rattler, but I've always thought it looks like an amazing ride.
And thus, it towers over everything else around it. The ride features several moments of strong ejector airtime.
I gotta get out to Texas.
On or off the large cliff it is built
It's time.
Making it have a much more dynamic layout than most coasters. best of these moments being the step up before the overbank turn on top of the cliff. This single moment gives one of the most powerful yet sustained moments of ejector airtime.
Yeah, this thing looks really cool.
After that, you go through a few lateral filled turns before you float through the heaven roll, which is easily one of my favorite inversions on any RMC coaster, due to just how floaty and graceful.
Wow, look at that thing into the brake run.
And how can I talk about Iron Rattler without bringing up that first drop?
The first drop in the back looks.
One of the company's best coasters. We officially made it to the top 5 of this list.
Jump scare.
Now,
Okay.
this is where the coasters become some of my all-time favorites. There is not a single critique I'll do about any of these coasters' layouts. Now, before we jump into number 5, I want to just real quickly ask you to scroll down to underneath this video and just hit that subscribe button. It's free. You can unsubscribe at any time.
I'm already subscribed. I'll hit the like button.
Hit the notification bell so you know whenever I come back from my break I'm taking after this video. Okay, with that out of the way, let's jump right in.
Oh yeah, he's taking like a 6-month break, I think. Remember you told me about that.
Pantheon is the intimate swing launch coaster that
Pantheon! Oh my god, that thing's amazing. I love Pantheon.
I exclusively refer to Pantheon as Midtheon because, well, I thought it looked pretty lame layout-wise.
Yeah, you did.
But then I wrote it, and I'm just gonna let my first reaction speak for itself.
Yes, it was! You should have been on the front row. What just happened? Okay. Okay. That was awesome. I'd like to issue my apology to Pantheon.
Yeah, you better. Bro is stunned.
God. Alright. The moment you enter the swing launch element, it is non-stop speed until you slam to a stop on the final brake run. And the ride uses its shorter track length to its advantage, maintaining a breakneck pace from start to finish. The backwards airtime hill
Pantheon's an amazing ride.
Swing launch completely flings you
That it's like icebreaker kind of during that little area, but like it's just
backward spike, which gives so much flutter airtime.
it's just better because it's bigger.
Massive outer bank turn.
That's what I'd say. It's kind of like a bigger icebreaker with inversions. If icebreaker wasn't trying to be a family coaster.
And one I cannot wait to ride again. The coaster on my list with the most intense positive G's is Intimidator 305.
I-305 is amazing.
And holy crap. This is an Intamin Giga, but unlike Millennium Force, a Giga also built by Intamin, Intimidator stays exclusively low to the ground after the massive drop, meaning that its sense of speed is entirely unmatched. After the 305-foot lift, the next tallest element isn't even...
This was my second ever, like, number one. Like, right after, like, Fury was my number one for so long at Carowinds, but this was my, like, second for real number one.
Sustained 5 Gs of force throughout, which made me fully black out on each of my rides. Because of this, I want to get my vision back into the top of the large ejector hill under the lift. After this, the coaster goes through several low-to-the-ground rapid S-spins, each providing a strong moment of lateral ejector airtime. Only downside is if you're an idiot like me,
I haven't ridden this since 2019.
You will get a terrible headache from blacking out so much. The first coaster to ever get the title of my number one coaster is still holding on to its spot in my top 3.
Yeah.
This is Fury 325. Fury is still the coaster I have.
It was my first, like, number one I had, and I don't know where it is. I have to look at it.
Massive soft spot for the ride as a whole. The best way I can describe the ride experience is if B&M looked at Intimidator 305 and said, "Hey, we can do that." The ride focuses mainly on quick, low-to-the-ground twists and moments of high positive Gs. Best example of this being the treble clef turnaround.
Yeah.
It completely crushes you into your seat for about 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of people say this thing's forceless, which is, like, really not true. I mean, it cracked a freaking support. It's not forceless.
I believe to be one of the best first drops on any coaster ever. The drop just feels like it lasts forever due to the perfect shaping and the way it slams you into your seat at the bottom.
Yeah.
Will never get old.
The first half of that ride is, like, perfect.
Just barely missing the gold medal is
number 2.
Gwazi. What can I even say about this ride that I haven't said before, other than wow? There is not a single wasted element anywhere on this layout, and it is truly one of the most relentless coasters ever designed.
Really,
the way
yeah.
it just flies from element to element. The ride honestly has a very creative layout flow than most other RMC coasters. Normally, RMCs rely heavily on small and abrupt airtime hills in order to bridge the gap between the standout elements. But on Iron Gwazi, they pretty much just cut that out entirely, and you go from one standout to another. For example, the sequence from the first drop to the wave turn is just rapid fire, amazing element after amazing element, with no unnecessary filler. It also has
I don't really feel like there is filler on this ride. It's like really like
thanks to the 91-degree angle, which leads
it's just a little short. If they added a little more, then I feel like it'd be like.
However, this wasn't enough for it to hold on to the #1 spot.
Wildcat's Revenge.
Swiping the gold medal from right under Iron Gwazi's feet right at the end of the year is my new favorite coaster, Wildcat's Revenge. This ride is just so powerful and genuinely does everything I love in a coaster, from the breakneck pacing to the absurd laterals, and it even has a few moments of very strong positive forces. Everything I said about Iron Gwazi applies to Wildcat as well.
I feel like they should have RMC'd Lightning Racer. I mean, Wildcat, it wasn't really a bad ride. In fact, I enjoyed it. If it was a little like, I don't know, it was just really good for me. I loved Wildcat. Lightning Racer is really good too, but I feel like they could have made that ride a lot better than this ride. And this ride, it looks amazing. I mean, it's just #1. But I do feel like they should have RMC'd Lightning Racer. But I mean, I'm not sad at all. It's just, yeah.
The zero-G stall is one of the best I have experienced, providing you with several seconds of inverted.
I feel like they should have put Titan Track on what's it called? Wildcat.
And several of my rides. All around, this is the best coaster I have ridden, and I can't wait to re-ride it in the future. And with that, I have reached the end of my list. If you made it this far, then I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I know this has been a really long video. 2023 has been my best year on YouTube yet, and I couldn't have done it without all of you watching and enjoying my content. So, thank you. And, well, I guess that leads me into the last thing I want to say. As of the releasing of this video, I'm going to be taking a few-month break from making videos on this channel. I've seriously burnt myself out, and I've also run out of interesting things to talk about, so I want to take some time away. I'll still be uploading occasional gaming videos over on RCE Gaming, but they'll be a lot less heavily edited than the videos on this channel. But that's all for now, and I'll see you in a few weeks. I love you all. One last time. Bye for now.
That's a nice outro. I really like the way you have like both of the logos. That's awesome. All right, so overall, that wasn't a bad list. I mean, I definitely thought it was better than the other years. It started off very rocky, but it got pretty good towards the end. So, yeah, this video has been long enough. Go subscribe to RC Kingston. I will put his link in the description. And, yeah, I will also leave a link to the merch in the description. And other than that, aim high, not low, and never quit. Peace.